cause availability, or is that just insurance?
I would say it's probably a sign of availability, at least for game one. And a little bit of insurance too, so that we've got guys around here. And, so I think that's probably the best way I can put it.
Are you considering him as an option for game one?
He's our 7th D, for game one. And then we'll look at Hawk going forward after that.
What have you seen from him in the few games he's played for you this year?
Pouliot? You know what? I actually had him. I had him for a handful of games when I was coaching in Vegas. I've seen him play, obviously, through his entire career and the different stops he's had, but I gained an appreciation for him, coaching him for the handful of games I had him in Vegas. And he can play at the NHL level. He's an NHL-sized body. He can move pucks. He's got, 200-plus games in the league, so he's not going to be overwhelmed by the moment. He's got good composure. So, he's got no problem sticking him in a game.
Just trying to get another Vegas connection going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unbelievable.
Pete, you guys had massive team expectations at the start of the year, and you guys embraced it. Again, I know the goal is Stanley Cup, not regular season titles.
Yeah.
But is it gratifying to have gone through that whole year with all those expectations and met, maybe exceeded those?
Oh, for sure. I think, I've said before, I don't think you look back on a season and reflect until it's done, and probably appreciate, some of the accomplishments because, you're all in on the one accomplishment everyone's looking to have, and that's the Stanley Cup and the one focus. But, I think the evolution of our group from coming back to training camp to, some of the ups and downs we had during the year, to the new people we added either through the trade deadline or Stankoven coming up. I think our group has kind of jumped over every hurdle that has been put in their path and really found another level every time we've done that. And we played our best hockey here down the stretch, which is, I think something that's real important coming into the playoffs.
When you make that decision for who goes in on the fourth line, with Radek,
Yeah.
what goes into that? They're very talented players, but different skill sets.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. You could make a case that any and all those guys should be in the lineup and playing. They're tough decisions. A lot of times it comes down to, if a guy has a face-off skill set, if a guy has a penalty kill skill set, those are boxes that sometimes separate you from other guys. And they all bring different things to the table. And the bottom line is we're going to need them all at different points if we hope to get where we're going.
Going back to the Vegas connection, what does it mean to have Misha here after he helped them win a
Yeah.
Stanley Cup last year?
Yeah, I think, it's not like Misha has any kind of state secrets. I think, Misha's advantage to our group is really in the energy he brings every day and his ability to work one-on-one with people and connect with players. Players gravitate towards him. He's got great knowledge of the game, and he's got the same inside knowledge of the Vegas Golden Knights that Steve Spott and I had, and he had the same of us, from last year's series against each other. I think, these teams know each other, these coaching staffs know each other, what each other's trying to accomplish. There's no secrets there. I think it's who can get to their game for the quickest for the longest period of time.
He came from off ice to on the bench.
Yeah.
You were there. Did you have a role in that? And,
Yeah.
And how important was it for him to do that?
Yeah. So I first met Mish and worked with him at the World Championships in 2015, and I was at the time I was still in San Jose, I believe. Trying to think. Anyway, we reconnected in Vegas, and actually, Mish was in management part. He was running the analytics department, but he also, was running the skills department and all the return to play stuff. So during COVID, when they had all those rules that you're only allowed 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 or three players on the ice with one coach, Mish was running all that stuff, and he's outstanding in that department. And then we were going to the bubble, and we really had one spot left on the roster because you could only bring so many people into the bubble. And I made a case to bring him in just because of his value, the value I saw in him, both what he did on the ice individually with guys, because you had a big taxi squad in the bubble, but also, what I thought he could add to our coaching staff as an eye in the sky, and that was kind of the start of his integration into our staff.
We always ask about the mood of the players in the locker room, various points of the year, whether it's a big win or this or that.
Mhm.
What's the mood of the coaches room right now?
Yeah. Well, I just think excited anticipation. I mean, this is what you play for all year. The regular season, really gets exhausting down the stretch, and this is really a second wind. You start looking forward to this, probably a month ago, and then you're just trying to get to this point, and then, it's a second season, right? Everyone's starting from scratch. Everyone's got a chance. Half the teams in the league have gone home, so it's the best time of year.
Do you manage there, because when you play in playoffs, you're trying to bring yourself down?
Yeah.
Do you as a coaching staff have to play in that, or is it in the regular season you're trying to
Yeah.
bring yourself up?
Yeah, it's a great point. I think that absolutely is the case. I think, I'm always writing on my card composure, because I think in the playoffs, you're right, that the players go from here to here emotionally, their investment, everything, and they want it so bad that a lot of times your job is to keep the composure of the group, when the emotions are at the highest. So for sure, it's a little bit of a switch there from the dog days of the regular season where you're, trying to pump them up.